So, and maybe just on the house, I want it to. I can also say, for example, maybe I want to focus on Sugar House Park. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a pin in the center of Sugar House Park.
So it leaves
And then
your
it does a
address,
radius
but
from
it
there.
adds that one too.
Yep, and so now it's at that
How
one.
many pins
It
does
changes the
one-
radius from the.
I haven't found a limit to that yet. Yep. So maybe Sugar House Park, I only want 1 mile around, not a huge area.
Oh, you're adding different.
Yep, I'm adding
locations.
multiple. So now let's
Okay.
say people who come to Salt Lake obviously come through the airport. So maybe I want to target the airport. And I highly recommend you guys that when you are targeting certain areas, target the nearest airport. Because what do we all do when we're sitting waiting for flights or your baggage? You're scrolling through Facebook. So I highly recommend that. Now let's say, so maybe not a huge area, but maybe, for example, I also think someone in Sandy might be interested in this home. I can add that area. Maybe not 25 miles around Sandy, maybe only 12. Now it gets kind of a nice area. Now let's say that for whatever reason, I might also want to target Austin, Texas. I can do that too.
But, okay.
So you can target, sorry, let me scroll down a little bit.
On the
You
same
can,
ad.
on the same ad, you can target as many places as you want in as far away as you want. So you can get a little crazy with this. You can also get more detailed. So I might now, it bounced to 2.4 million. That might be a little much. So I'm going to take out Austin.
Why do you say too much? Is that because you have to pay for it?
No,
Oh, still $1 a day.
still $1 a day,
Oh.
up to
Oh.
a minimum. Yep, a minimum of $1 a day.
Oh.
It's as much as you want to pay. You could pay $1,000 a day. You could pay $1 a day.
But
Up to
remember, you're also competing with other people who
Correct.
are advertising for pet washes or anything
Yep.
else in that same area.
Yep. So the reason I say it might be too many people is because if I'm really trying to find the right buyer for this home, because that's what we're really trying to do with these ads, right? Even though that might not actually happen, that's what we're trying to do. Targeting an entire city like Austin, Texas is a lot of people. Now, in the next step, we're going to detail it down by interest, but that's a lot of people. So it might be better to target certain malls that you know people are looking at their phone, or target certain neighborhoods in Austin that are feeder markets to Sugar House. I'm not saying there are any, but that's up to you to kind of decide.
You're surgical with this stuff, man.
I guess.
You can be.
I guess depending on your audience, I guess, you don't know how they would charge. I mean, the bigger your audience.
They're not going to charge anything different.
Really?
Correct. You make up the price for this.
Well, so what, how does?
So we'll get to that
Okay.
Okay.
when we get to the price.
Oh, okay, sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't-
Because
You know, in
you
my
could
mind, I
be
keep thinking
kids
the
at
more
mall,
price, the
you
more
can
cost.
see that
Yeah.
this out.
So right now it's showing me my estimated daily results. Now this is going to change based on your price that you choose. But right now, just based on the locations that I've chosen, they say my ad could reach around 1,000 to 4,700, there we go, people a day with hopefully between 19 and 120 clicks to my website. Now this is again all going to change depending on how much you're paying for it and also the next piece. So any questions on the location so far? Okay, so I could keep going with this for hours if you want to. If you didn't like this huge Sandy location, you can just start dropping pins to maybe City Creek, Fashion Place Mall, maybe some movie theaters, places like that. You know, you can just kind of go crazy with it. Or you can just type in Salt Lake City, do the whole thing, call it a day. Totally up to you.
How do we get over the creepy feeling we're having right now?
Yeah,
It's here.
it happens.
It's not gonna go away.
So the next piece is age and gender. If you are doing a open house, a just listed, anything real estate based, I would not change these. I know that you might have a house that's like, let's say $1.2 million and you're thinking there's no way an 18-year-old's going to change that, going to look at that. The reason being is for equal housing. We don't want to have someone come back to you and say, I saw you were doing this ad. I'd like to look at your specs and see that you were only targeting people 50 and older, because then you're discriminating against people not those ages.
But you can, right? You can.
You can change this.
Because I did, I mean.
But for equal housing, you're not supposed to, right? You can't put on a flyer gated family only community
But I think.
or for women only.
But you should be able to target, I mean, if you're paying for the ad, you should be able to target who you want to see.
I'm just telling you my personal opinion. You can absolutely change this.
Okay.
No one's going to tell you, no one is going to force your hand not to. I'm just saying
And the
that if,
chances somebody actually.
right,
is
Yeah.
slim.
don't look at your taxes. You can do whatever you want on your taxes. Just, do you think the IRS is going to come or are they not? So if you're willing to take the chance, absolutely go for it. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't change these two because there's so much else that you can dial down in the Facebook ads outside
That's a
of
good
just
point,
these.
yeah.
That aren't
But,
regulated.
Again, totally up to you. So you have the option for age, you do the option for gender. You do have the option for other languages as well. I believe you have to be able to translate yourself, but I'm not positive. I haven't had a lot of experience with changing the languages on your ads. Oops, sorry. Just clicked on the side here. Okay, so as we scroll down, the next thing, sorry, I scrolled too far, is this detailed targeting. So this is where you can really get detailed into people's interests. So for example, we're in Utah. What do people who come to Utah like to do? They like to ski. First thing we do is click ski. And you'll notice on the side here, it's going to change my audience a little bit. So what it's doing is it's going to try and find people that are interested in at least one of these things, but realistically, they're going to try people that are interested in as many of these things as possible in the locations that you chose above. So now we're just funneling, right? So interested in ski, maybe they're also interested in snowbird, maybe Alta, if we have Alta, which some of these don't always come up. There we go.
Wow.
Ski area.
Maybe
Maybe,
University of Utah. I've sold 2 houses to people from California who bought homes for their students.
so
Other kids.
that's a great point. So let's say you type in University of Utah. You can do people interested in the Utah Utes. You can also do people employed by the University of Utah. So you tell Facebook who you're employed by, right? So Facebook kind of knows that general interest. You could also do schools. So people that have listed their school on Facebook as the University of Utah. So yeah, if you're targeting students, absolutely. That also might, categorize if you're looking for students or if you're looking for people that are postgraduates. That can kind of funnel all that down too, instead of choosing by age. But yeah. Same with employer. Let's say that you do want to look at age. There are some employer features. I don't think that they have job titles anymore, but I'm not positive. Facebook has kind of changed a lot of their algorithms because now they're not getting supplied information of you from third-party apps. So before, where anytime you logged into Facebook and anywhere else, Facebook was gaining that information, that's kind of changed a little bit. But yeah, University of Utah is great. Let's do Utah Utes too. Football, men's basketball. So these are all interests. Another interesting one is, let's say that it's a really unique home and you want to target other realtors. So maybe you're not looking to target potential buyers. You're looking to target other realtors at other companies. If I type in, obviously this isn't another company, but if I type in Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, it can target people who have that as their employer. I can also type in real estate agent and real estate agent or broker as a job title. So you can really play, so you can play around with this a lot, you guys. Also, once I've done a few of these things, so here are my interests so far, I can click the suggestions button. What it's going to do is it's going to suggest things that, based on what I'm using, might also be of interest to me to use. So maybe people interested in Salt Lake, maybe people interested in outdoor life, things like that. You can spend a lot of time doing this. I would suggest setting like a 10-minute timer. Give yourself some time to dive into it and then stop. You can also always come back and edit these while your ad is running, after your ad is done. If you want to duplicate again, next time you use this audience for a different ad, you can add, change, erase, etc. We'll get a little bit more into that. But one of the things I love about Facebook ads is you can start running something, check it out for 2 days. If you're getting crazy results or things that you weren't expecting, you can change your
Oh, you
audience,
can?
change your location. Yep. And then continue running it. So you
Can you
can,
cancel it?
or you can cancel it completely, but you don't have to cancel it. You can update it while it's running, which is really cool.
That would be interesting, yeah, to see
We
the
had
changes.
Yeah, I had an agent in Park City that he was kind of getting a lot of potential buyers in from Mexico City. So he targeted Mexico City. Well, Mexico City is a massive population. He started getting all these comments on his Facebook ads that was like, in Spanish, when I die, this will be my dream home that they give me in heaven. He was like, maybe that's not where I want to go with this. So what he did was he still targeted Mexico City, but he researched and found high-end neighborhoods. And he did a lot more with the demographics of kind of more luxury, frequent travelers, things like that. So we kind of targeted a different section to instead of just like a boom big area, which is kind of what I'm talking about when I say I did all of Austin, Texas, and I was like, that might be too many people.
Did he get a good result?
I didn't follow up with his final results, but I know he's still using Facebook ads, so must have got
That's
something okay.
interesting, because NAR talks about, all of the international investors,
Mhm.
Canadians, Chinese,
Mhm.
Indian. It's kind of like, wow. I mean, it kind of opens it. That
Totally.
obviously you'd want to have maybe a higher level property,
But yeah,
maybe an
it's
investment property.
right,
Who
but it's
knows?
super cool to be able to
Yeah.
use this to
Yeah.
reach out to a lot of different people. So any questions on this kind of interests and this detailed targeting section?
Just, so like your guy who was doing the neighborhoods of Mexico.
Yeah.
He put in that neighborhood name and if Facebook was in the system, then he could click it.
Yes, or I think what he did more realistically is he zoomed into where he knew it was and he did the drop pin.
That's right.
Yeah, because you guys will find a lot of times, like you saw, Sugar House is not a place that Facebook knows about. So there are some times, let's say that you have a lot or a development that's not, finalized yet. Dropping the pin is a really nice feature. Same with this detailed targeting. There are some things that you'll try and search for in here that you're like, really? I would think that would be in here. You might just have to play around and tweak it. Sometimes they're named kind of odd things, or sometimes there's something similar. Not exactly. Any questions on this? Good? Okay. So there's the detailed targeting. Now I'm just going to scroll down. I wouldn't worry about any of this part. I can just click Save Audience, but you don't have to save it here. You can save it in the next step. Now, if I hadn't pressed save, it would go, so there's my audience. Now, as I keep continuing down, it's going to ask me about placements. This is where your ad is going to show up on Facebook. I recommend automatic placements because Facebook knows Facebook better than we know Facebook. However, if for whatever reason drives you insane when they're on the right corner, drives you insane when they're in an Instagram story or something like that, you can click edit placement and you can choose where you'd like your ad to go. But for most of the time, automatic placement. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the budget. What you want to pay. So what's cool about Facebook is you can pay a minimum of $1 up to, I don't think they have a limit.
It says, yes and no. Oh, I don't know.
So you can go daily budget or a lifetime budget. So if you do a daily budget, it's just how much that Facebook is going to spend each day with your ad. If you do a lifetime budget, you can say over the course of, or keep spending until I reach X. So let's say I do a daily budget. If you watch over on this side, my estimated reach and my clicks, if I'd knock this down to $5 a day, I might only get 7 to 43 clicks a day.
Is that's all they're going to allow?
Pretty
Is that
much.
what that is?
Pretty much, yeah. It's more so that, like MJ said, there's, you're competing with so many other ads. If you're only paying $5 a day, it's just not going to reach as many people as a company that might be paying $1,000 a day, right?
Is that
So-
means Facebook is placing it more often? Is that what it is?
If you're paying more,
If you're
yeah.
paying more.
Because think about your newsfeed. I mean, probably it's only 1 in maybe 10, maybe sometimes 5, but typically it's not super often that you see a sponsored post unless you kind of like a lot of that kind of stuff. If Facebook notices that you're very interested in sponsored posts or you get a lot of engagement, they might show you more. But really they want to show you your friends, your family, things that you're actually interested in. So the more money you pay, the more often it's going to be pushed out.
So would it be
Yeah.
better to pay a little bit more for a shorter period of time?
Totally up to you. It really depends. If you think that it might only be on the market, the home might only be on the market for a short amount of time, then yeah, that might be totally better. But if this might be a long running thing, maybe they're priced way too high and you know they're going to have to knock it down at some point. So you don't want to waste all your money in the beginning when it might be outpricing a lot of buyers anyway. So it kind of really depends. I would recommend start small, see how it goes. If you're liking the reactions, the click links, everything, and you feel comfortable spending more, then absolutely do it. I don't think start super high and then knock it down, because you might get sticker shock, just kind of like, or you also might get really good engagement, but it's not sustainable in your personal work budget, right? So here's the daily budget. So yes, you can see 7 to 43 if I'm at $5 a day. If I go up to 15, 14 to 90, there is kind of a plateau that you'll see depending on your ad, because at the end of the day, in my Salt Lake City area, even if I'm paying $1,000 a day, they can't serve it up to the same people 400 times, right? So you do kind of reach a plateau. It takes a lot to get there, but you will kind of reach a plateau. And then the other option is to do a lifetime budget. So when I do a lifetime budget, it's going to ask me when I want my ad to go to. So maybe I start tomorrow, I run it through the weekend and end Monday, and I only want to spend $20. So, actually, that's not enough time because I ran it through November. And so you can see it was like, whoa, you need to spend $1 a day. So it's not going to let me do that. If I run it through the actual weekend, now it will let me pay $20. So kind of both ways that you can do this.
Limit.
That's how you
spend.
That's how you would, yeah, that's how you limit what you want to spend in a lifetime, or you can do it as a daily budget and you can either run it continuously or start to end date.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So up to you how you want to pay. But again, it's not going to charge you more with a bigger area or international or more detailed. It's totally up to you, which is really kind of what's so great about Facebook ads. Because whereas if you go to the Salt Lake Tribune or the Standard Examiner, they're going to say, this is how much it is. And we can't tell you if anyone looked at it. But this you can actually see.
So the clicks, it's based on how many clicks you're going to get. Well, let's say you get up to 43 clicks, it stops the ad. Is that
Not necessarily. It's not going to stop it at 43 clicks. It's just estimating
that's what
based on their
Who's gonna look
algorithm.
at this?
Yeah, that's probably what you'll
You
be
give me
getting.
your credit card.
Yes.
And they will spend every dime you ask them to.
Oh yeah. If you put in that's $5 a day, they're going to spend your $5 a day.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
So
would assume that.
yeah. So as I scroll down here, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff, you guys. So don't worry about any of that. And then we're going to continue. And now we actually get into creating the ad. So everything we've done up to now has been how much I want to spend and where it's going to go. And now I get to actually create it. So all of that we just did is going to be extremely similar when you hit that boost post button. So you click that boost post button, it's going to walk you through exactly what we just did, but in the pop-out window instead of on this page, but it looks pretty much the exact same. Yeah.
Did you say it allows you to sort of save that template so you can do boost, apply it to this template?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So now that I've saved that audience, if I went back to that boosted post that I was talking about earlier in class and pressed boost post, that audience would be there. And I could just use that and move on.
So would you do both?
No,
Okay.
probably not.
All right. That's what I was confused about. You set this up and then go back and boost it.
No, this would be
Okay.
more if, let's
It's
say, yeah,
Okay.
probably either one. And boosts are just different. They're usually articles, blog posts, a link somewhere, or something like that. Something that's going up on your newsfeed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. For example, the pumpkin patch. If you have that flyer and you put it on your Facebook, that would be a thing that you might want to boost. You probably wouldn't do the whole ad process just for one image of a pumpkin patch. Also, a boosted post is going to more likely go out to your followers and then a farther reach of the people that you're choosing, whereas an ad is really just going to go out to the people that we've targeted. So just slightly different in a few ways. Ad name. I know we just keep like renaming this thing, but basically what it's saying is you get a campaign. Underneath your campaign, you have audiences. Underneath those audiences, you have ads. So it's kind of a whole trace, which is why we just have to keep renaming it. So I'm naming my ad 123 Main Street, my made up house that we're using. If you have more than one business page, this is where you would choose the business page that you want to go on. I'll put mine on my agent page. On this page, I don't have an Instagram connected to it. If you do have a business Instagram, it has to be a business Instagram. You can connect it here. If you don't worry about it. Just move on.
Can you put listings on your regular Instagram?
I wouldn't, unless your regular Instagram says in your bio, I am a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Utah Properties, because otherwise it could be considered a blind ad.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is,
Everything's getting so technical.
as the industry gets more technical, they get find more things. Format. These are the different ways the ad can look. So I'm going to go through each of them, and then I'll tell you my personal favorite or my suggested. Carousel, this is the first one. You've probably seen this type of ad often on Facebook. A lot of brands will spend money so that each of the photos kind of look similar. For those of you who shop at Sephora, they love this kind of ad because they can show a lip gloss on one, a blush on another, an eyeshadow on here. They can all go to different places. The thing I don't love about this ad is the photos get real squishy. So for something like our industry, where you've got a beautiful kitchen, a beautiful hero shot of the home, you don't really want to like smash. And it won't squish the photo, it'll just cut it off. So I don't recommend this one unless you were doing like a open house tour. I have an open house Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of these 3 different homes. Here they all are. That might make sense. Or if you're doing it for like a development, maybe something like that. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't use this one. This one is my favorite and what we're going to use today. It's a single image. I like it because you can use the hero shot of the home, whether that's the outside, the kitchen, the living room, whatever it is. But what's great about it is it's got a learn more button. It tells people to go somewhere, and you're not giving away your cookies. If you use some of these other ones that have like 4 or 6 pictures, then why do I want to click to see more? I've already seen all the pieces of the house. So kind of up to you.
The one I did was a video. It showed.
Mhm.
So
we'll keep going.
I was impressed
Okay,
with that
no
one
worries.
too.
Yeah, so you can also do, so here's, the other thing about the single image, which I really like, let's say that you have, the home has a beautiful front shot, a beautiful view, and an amazing kitchen. I can add all 3 of those. What Facebook does for the same price, no difference, it creates 3 ads, it runs them simultaneously, and the one that does the best, it starts running more, and it lets the other 2 fall by the wayside.
Oh, cool.
So I do that a lot with our brokerage because I'll do a photo of Salt Lake, a photo of Park City, and then just like an Aspen snowy shot, whatever it is. And whichever one is getting clicked more, it just starts using that more. And then after a week or so, I could turn the other 2 off if I want, or I can just let them keep going. So that's what I like about this one. What you were talking about. So then there's a single video. This is if you have a video to upload. So if you paid for Spotlight to shoot a video, if you shot a video, if you used maybe Videolicious, I don't know, whatever, you can use this to upload a video. Or, which is my second favorite, is the slideshow feature. And this might have been what you used.
Yeah. Because there's music. Is there music
Yeah.
to the single image?
No, that's a slideshow. So what you do with the slideshow is you can upload up to 10 images, so 1 to 10. I'm not going to go through this process here because it takes a little bit more time, but it's a super great option. Excuse me. You upload the photos, you put them in order. Facebook lets you choose from a bunch of different just kind of background music. You can tell them if you want them for 1, 2, or 3 seconds per image. You can tell them if you want them to fade, whatever. And it basically just creates a slideshow for you real quick. A lot of our agents do use this one. I like this a lot if you have a lot of photos, and then you can write, click to view the rest, click to see the pool, click to see the view. Don't wait, there's more, that kind of a thing. But again, with a slideshow, might give away some cookies, but it also looks really beautiful, so totally up to you.
When you say giveaway cookies, what do you mean?
What I mean, what I
mean
mean is if I show you everything up front, then there's no reason for you to call me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So so if I give,
click
on it, right,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Okay.
If I give you everything,
Gotcha.
then you don't need me anymore. So that's why I like this
So you
single
didn't need
image.
Digital cookies.
No.
Cookie
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
Okay.
my precious.
I thought you were talking about
my
digital
snacks.
cookies, and I go, I don't understand.
Like,
that.
I don't know what
Okay.
digital cookies. No. but good point.
That's fine.
Maybe I need a new
No,
example.
it's okay.
So
Cupcake.
I told you it's
Cupcakes.
getting too technical. We can't even
Well,
take
no,
It
that's
is.
why I'm going, what does this have to do with?
so true.
Everything's getting
Sorry.
too technical.
No, you're fine. So I'm going to use a single image one, but does anyone have any questions? This collection, I wouldn't worry about. It's pretty technical and kind of crazy. But does anyone have any questions on?
Is that what this one is? That one, the collection? Do you think that one is?
No, that looks like a single image that they made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they like designed. The photo she showed me was like a patchwork of a few different pictures. And I think what they did is they designed that themselves and uploaded as an image.
Can you get examples of these, like, that we could actually see? That would be amazing.
I would scroll through your Facebook.
But I mean, like, of homes, like Berkshire, not just random.
Well, we're going to create one.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna create a real one?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, good.
So single image. So now I'm going to scroll down and now we're going to create the ad. So first thing we do, we got to upload a photo. So I'm going to go to upload images. I'm going to go into my folders where I keep my images. And I'm just going to use this house. So I'm going to upload 3 images. You guys can kind of see the options. You could upload 1. You can upload up to 6 in this single image option. Click open. It might take a second because they have to
So the
download.
single image one, it rotates and then this is a line. That's
Correct.
it.
But
And if you only upload 1, then that's fine.
But
you
it's
don't
just
have to.
that so the person getting the
Add.
ad is only gonna see one picture.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. They might be, by luck of the draw, served the same ad with a different photo. It's probably unlikely, but it could happen. So here are my images. If I go to add 1, add 2, add 3. Oh, that one's probably still loading. Those are my images up there. So now I'm just going to scroll down. If you need to crop them or change them, you can.
Oh, good.
So now I'm just going to scroll down. And you can see on this side here, it's going to show you what the ad looks like as I update it. So the first thing I want to make sure it's going to a website. It's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to put in my Spotlight URL, or you can use the ML, whatever URL you want them to go to. If you have a website that houses all your listings, you could send them there. Spotlight probably makes the most sense if you use Spotlight because they track who clicks on it and where they come from. So that's good for the whole reporting piece. So now it's going to say text. This text is going to go right up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say just listed in Sugar House. Whoops. It'll go slowly but surely. There it goes. Sugar House, beautiful 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, not to be missed. I click off and it shows up. So as you edit this, you'll see exactly how your ad is going to look. You could also put here open house Saturday,
The price.
call me for more information. You can put the price, you can put whatever you want here, right?
If you're doing an open house for somebody else, will they let you put the image?
So all you have to say is that for an ad, I'm actually not positive. I believe it's just on the flyers that you have to say who it's listed by, because when they go to the microsite, they're going to see who it's listed by. If you want to, you can put in the bottom home listed by the agent that you're holding the open house for. But I don't think it's as sticklery as if you're handing out flyers that have the open house, because really they're just trying to go click to the microsite. So it's a little bit different. But if you want to just make sure you're safe, I just put it on the bottom, home listed by so-and-so, or courtesy of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Utah Properties. So we started the text. That text goes here. Now the URL, this is where you actually want people to click to. For the example, I'm going to use our website, but this is where you would copy and paste your Spotlight website right in here. So what it did is it updated here when I put in my URL. So now I'm going to keep scrolling down and it's going to ask me for my headline. This is the headline. So it's just taking that from the website. Spotlight might be totally different. It's going to depend on your website. Kind of like when you post a link to Facebook, it comes up with its own information, but here you can edit it. So the headline, I might just want to put the address. So now I've clicked up there. Next, as I keep scrolling down, it's going to ask me if I want to change the button typically you're not going to change the button. There are a couple other options: get showtimes, donate, contact, book now, listen, blah 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 blah. You might want to try this contact us button. If you do, let me know how it works. I don't recommend it because I think people will get scared.
Yeah.
At the
why
minute they
don't
click
call you.
contact.
Yeah.
Then the phone's going to start calling or start emailing. So I like the learn more button, but that's just me.
And the learn more goes where?
It's right here
Okay. No, I'm saying, where does it take you to?
to the website that you put in here.
Okay.
And then as I keep scrolling down, display link, this is optional. So that's what your website is going to display as. So let's say, for example, that I really like having the www. Oops, there we go.
What about the logo?
I can add that. What about the,
Berkshire Hathaway logo.
you want to add it?
Well, does it have to be on there?
Because the first click that this goes to shows you that you're Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay.
If you use Spotlight, it shows it on there. If they click to your Facebook page, that's why we recommend having it on your cover photo.
Mhm.
So the minute that they click, a lot of people do have Berkshire Hathaway in their name, so then you're safe there. But all the, whoever it is, Board of Realtors, whoever's finding people, ask for is that the first click from your ad tells you exactly who the brokerage is. So
It's Division of Real Estate.
thank you.
And they have one guy that's all he does.
Yes, I've got many like newsletters from him. So the other piece about this, which this gets a little confusing, so don't worry about it if it's too odd. These Spotlight websites, right, our microsites, are usually, unless you pay for an actual domain, are spotlighthometours.com/blah, blah, 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 something weird, right? If you don't want that to display here, you can change the display. So you could change this to your website. It's not going to change where it goes.
Oh.
This is where it's going to go. So make sure this is correct. But if you don't like that says Spotlight Home Tours, blah, 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 you can change that here. You displaying just has to be a URL. So it has to have the .com,
okay.
.net, .org, whatever.
That's too bad. It's too bad it just doesn't like say.
I tried that.
photos
That's what
of
I
Main
thought.
Street, yeah.
That's what I tried the first time, and
But
it got
least
mad at
doesn't
me.
have that big hole, yeah.
Yes.
spotlight.
So
Okay.
so up to you. If you forget to change it, doesn't matter. But just can make it a little bit prettier that way. Newsfeed link description. That's this part down here. So you can see that my Berkshire Hathaway Home Services trails off. I can change that to maybe the rest of the address. And so now you kind of finish that up there. Or you could change that to click to see more photos or call me for more information. You can change to whatever you want. But that way I just get the whole address down there, which I kind of like, but totally up to you. Once you have done that, don't worry about these parts. This Facebook pixel, if you are interested in it, you'll have to talk to Joe because it's beyond me. The last thing you can do, look over everything, make sure it looks good to you. You can click through these if you'd like to. So this is what it's going to look like on a desktop feed. You can see that they're changing in the top. Instant articles, right column of the desktop, the marketplace section on Facebook, in a Facebook story. It's loading slowly. In an Instagram feed if you have it connected to Instagram. So don't worry about these Instagrams if you don't. But yeah, so you can kind of see what it's going to look like everywhere. Lastly, if I scroll back up, remember I upload a couple of those different pictures. I can go to add to. It's just going to change the photo. Everything else is going to be the same. So once I think it looks all good, I come down here, I click confirm. And then you've made an ad. So any questions on this part?
But the Instagram,
Yeah.
how does that work? Is it personal or business?
It's a business. Yeah. So you'll log out of your personal Instagram. It's different than Facebook. You actually have to create a business account.
Business account.
Yes, you go on your
Mhm.
phone, yeah, and then when you go to sign up, there's like a little box that you click that says business.
And once you connect, you can't ever unconnect it.
No, you could, yeah.
Well, maybe afterwards you can show me how to find
Sure.
my personal Instagram because it disappeared.
Oh, it did, okay, yeah.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I can probably
Okay.
do that.
Thank you.
But yeah, so you can connect them, and then if you decide that Instagram's too much work or whatever, you can disconnect them and delete it or ignore it. Or
Well,
whatever.
if you link this to Instagram, it just automatically would go there, right? Same
If it's a
deal?
business Instagram,
Right,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yes,
And it
same
doesn't
thing.
cost anymore. It's just
Right,
going to
okay.
be lumped in with what you're already Okay. So any questions on this? Okay. So once you hit this confirm button, it can take maybe 5 minutes to an hour to get approved. It literally goes to someone sitting in India who makes sure it all looks good. Couple things that they look for is that your photo doesn't have a ton of text. So basically they think because you can type all up here, because there's some typing you can do down here, blah, 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 your photo should just be a photo. So I know some people have tried to do an ad for like their mobile app, and the picture that they use is of a phone. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. They might not like that photo. Or when I was helping with a development for YoTelPad, they had a bunch of like, this price coming soon, da 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 da.
Too much.
Too much. So I would suggest, which is great because it leaves less work for the rest of us, just use a spotlight photo. You'll be good. The other thing they might look for is if they know it's a real estate ad, they do kind of look for that equal housing stuff. So they'll approve it. And sometimes if they know it's a real estate ad, they might not approve it. You have to go back in and click this like, I agree that this is all equal housing compatible.
Where's that at?
They'll pop it up for you.
Oh.
So you probably won't get it on first round, but it'll come up kind of as a little button.
Because wasn't there a lawsuit?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facebook had a huge lawsuit. Basically, the National Board of Realtors went in, made a bunch of ads that were not equal housing, and then they got approved. So that's actually still ongoing, which is why some Facebook ad things have changed. But yeah. So once it's approved, you'll get an email and a notification on Facebook, and then it will just run. And then I'll show you the next part really quick. But any questions on making the ad, getting it to run, all that kind of stuff.
Where did they ask for your credit card?
Oh, on that budget page, they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine was already in there, so it just at the very bottom it was like
Gotcha.
payment, star, 92,
Okay.
whatever. But
Okay.
if you didn't
No,
have
that's
it,
all right. I
they
missed that.
no, it's okay.
Have
They
you had any problems with that?
no, I have not. So write down.
Sorry,
They're really good
my
about,
credit card was hacked last
but they're
year
really
Oh.
good about alerting
through the
you.
bank, and it wasn't very pleasant. I don't want to.
Yeah,
go
that's
through
not
that
fun.
again,
I
so
have not had
just-
any issues, but
But they'll tell you what they're charging you like every
No,
day.
I just mean security.
But they are good. I mean, you can, they're trustworthy and
Yeah.
they seem to be
So
on
far,
the
they
ball.
got
So-
hacked. They got hacked last week.
yeah, I guess so.
with
Yeah,
with
right.
the ads.
So now let's say, gonna leave this. You've been approved. It's been a day or a week, and you want to see how your ad's doing. So you're gonna log back into Facebook, your business page. You're gonna go the same triangle up here. You're gonna go down to manage ads this time instead of create ads. And it's gonna take you to a similar page, but a slightly different viewpoint. It will look like this. And you'll be able to see your active ads. So if you have more than one running, it'll tell you. If you only have one running like I do, it'll just have this one active. It'll show you the ones that have been completed in the past. These ones that say post are my boosted posts. Things that don't say that are my advertisements, just to help kind of clarify. It's going to tell me my results, my reach, my impressions, and my cost per results, my cost per click, which is kind of interesting.
What is the result? How do you know you have a result?
It's going to say it right there. It's going to
That's
say
how many
results.
people clicked on
So
that.
somebody that clicked on it, but you don't know who it is, you don't
Correct.
know when it was.
No.
But they clicked.
Okay, that's right.
So, but when I go to this view charts, so if I hover over it, I can go to view charts. And when I click on that, it does give me some information. So this is mine is on lifetime right now. So it's going to have a lot of information. So actually I probably should change that to, let's say, the last 7 days. Okay. So I can see in the last 7 days, I had 48 clicks. It cost me about, and this is just averaging there. This is just how much I paid and how many people clicked on it. So 73 cents per click and a result rate of 1.36. These are all relative to how you feel that it's doing, right? There's no Facebook number that says, oh gosh, if it's over $1 a click, that it was a waste of time. It depends on how you feel, right? So if this looks good to me, then I'm happy. I can also go to that I have reached in the last 7 days, 3,000 people. I've spent $34 in the last 7 days. I can see my frequency, my impressions. I can also go to this button customs, or custom, excuse me, where I can change things around. So I could say, I want to know my reach versus my results and kind of see that they're in kind of the
So
same.
they don't even give you any of the demographics that you
So if I
asked for.
click this demographics button here,
Oh.
it will tell me age
Hmm.
and gender.
That's,
Yeah. So for example, if let's say you haven't changed age and gender, right? Because that's obviously going to skew with this a little bit. But if these are just the people that I'm targeting based on the location and the demographics and whatnot, and it's a starter home, and I think it's probably going to go to a student or or just post grad, someone in their 20s, early 30s, something like that. And my ad's really hitting these 65 plus. Maybe I should change my demographics. Or the opposite. If the home is very expensive and there's no way it's going to go to someone under the age of 55, and it's getting a lot of people in that 25 to 34 range, maybe I should change my demographics. So maybe I should change my location. Maybe Sugar House is in the right place. Maybe I should change to Cottonwood Heights. Maybe I should take out the snowboarders. Maybe I should, there's just a lot of things that you can edit, update, change. And you can do, and I'll show you really quick, this while it's running. The last thing you can also look at amount spent versus click links. So for example, I'm spending a lot on women 65 plus for how much they're clicking, but I am not spending very much on women 45 to 54 for how much they're clicking. So kind of an interesting feature too. And you can adjust things based on that as well. You can also see your placement. So this is where Facebook's putting it. They're putting this a lot in Facebook. Just that means on the desktop, on your mobile app, things like that. Not really going very far on Instagram, probably because it's just a still image. And Instagram ads are really coming up in like stories and things now. So video takes precedent there. And then in Messenger on the like texting app in Facebook, they put sponsored posts in there too.
I hate those. Anyway, sorry.
So do I. So
Is there
now
a way
let's
to
say,
not have them not do Messenger.
yeah, in that placement section,
Okay.
when I said leave it auto, you could go in there and
Okay.
delete them from Messenger.
Because
Absolutely.
everybody I know hates it.
Well,
Okay.
then there you go. Yeah, you absolutely can. Now, last thing that we'll go over, let's say it's active, it's running, and I say, oh, I need to change this. I forgot to add Cottonwood Heights. What I would do is I go to this edit button and click edit. I'm going to go over to add set. That's your audience. I can scroll down here, and where's my edit button? There it is, edit. And so if I do that, I can change who this is going to, add, delete, etc. If I get an updated photo, maybe it snowed, I had Spotlight take a new hero shot at the front of the house, I can go to this add section, and I can, so much loading, I can change image. So you can update these as they're running. Each time they're going to get reapproved, but if you've already been approved and you're already running, unless you change something super drastic, that's fine. I could also scroll down here. And change the text. So maybe it's been running as a just listed. The price got reduced. I might want to change the got price reduced. I might want to change my ad into an open house ad. You can kind of use the same thing for a long time. You could also be using the same ad and just go in and update it to a brand new listing if it's in the same area, right? You can just edit, maneuver. Don't even have to do it over and over again.
Cool.
So does that make sense to you guys?
Mhm.
I know it's a lot of information in almost exactly an hour, but I promise it gets easier as you do it a few times. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't even aware of how to do this.
Yeah.
This was fabulous. I'm
Good.
like,
She's awesome to help.
Yeah,
She's
I'm like-
awesome to
Yeah.
help.
And if you're stuck, text me, call me,
you're always
email
great to
me.
help.
Yeah, I'm around. I'm usually glued to it. So I sit in a lot of meetings. So honestly, text and email is better. But I try and get back super fast. Julie knows, she calls me and then I email her back.
I know.
I get stuck a lot. So
You're always good to
So,
at least
Thank you.
correspond.
Yeah.
So the last few newspaper ads I've done
Yeah.
obviously have just been like hideous. Like you really don't even do them to target anybody. You just do them to
You
tell the
just-
seller
Yeah, that you did it.
that we've got an ad running because
Sure.
they're horrible. Like I don't think anybody reads the paper. So are you,
No,
so are you thinking? Obviously, this is getting way more.
Well, the reason that I prefer this,
Exposure.
the reason I prefer this over a newspaper is one, because you do have those demographics. You can actually go back and see how many people you're reaching, see how many people are clicking on your ad, see the age ranges and the gender, and see where it's going. So you get that kind of what's the word I'm looking for, reporting that you don't get from a newspaper, right? The other thing too is because you can choose what you want to pay for it. If you think it's a house that is going to be a great commission, you want to really push it out there, put more money against it.
Right.
If you're just doing it to appease your seller and they're probably not going to ask about the results, they just want to know it's there and you can take a screenshot and say it was done, maybe don't spend so much money on it. But newspaper, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
So, and then really fast, how did I get I didn't know how to put my video onto my feed.
Okay, so yeah, so if you want it, you just mean like on your page.
My wall. Or
Yeah. So I would just go to your main page like this. You can scroll down. You do have to have you either have to have a link or the file to your video.
Okay.
Oh, because are you talking about the
It was a video.
the one that you made for an ad?
Yes.
So that one I don't think that you can download and save
So
anywhere.
so I wasn't able to show my client, which kind of sucked.
Oh, I see
was
what you
even
mean.
thinking of recording it with another phone.
So what you could do is when you go to this ad manager, and I haven't created one like that in a long time, so I don't have one to show. But what you should be able to do is if I go back in here and I go to edit and I wait for that to pop up and I go into ads and I wait for it to pop up. Hold on 1 second. There we go. You should be able to scroll and take a screenshot of this. And if it's the video one, I would just,
a slideshow.
yeah, if it's that, I would just record on your phone and send it to them
So
that way.
that's the only way.
Yeah, because it's an ad, they don't really like house them anywhere, from my understanding. Actually, I think that actually might be a lie. There might be one place that I just don't think you'll be able to link it to them. They would have to like be with you. Goodness. Hold on.
Unless you happen to get the ad.
Unless I happen to get the ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
what I was hoping that my clients had received it, but
Can't you just send it to them directly?
no.
yeah, no, there's no
It
like,
goes out
the
to,
ad.
Yeah,
it
the
goes out
ad.
to this obscure.
which
I
is
always
why
just
you
send
could
an
target
email.
their specific home and hope they see it.
Yeah.
So here's one way to do it. So I went to my main page.
Okay.
I scrolled down on this edge to info and ads. I just don't know if you can send it to them, but here's where your ads will be. So you might have to take a screenshot still or show it to them on your computer when you're with
Take a
them.
screenshot and then post it on your wall.
I mean, I wouldn't post on your wall. If you want something on your wall, I would do it as a post and then,
That's what I meant.
yeah. But with the slideshow piece, that's an ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little tougher.
Yeah. So that's specifically an ad. So
But
that's
I
not
was
gonna
very
go wrong.
impressed with the slideshow.
Good.
And music, like with maybe a higher end house or something, it was really impressive.
Yeah,
Because you got to see like maybe 6 images instead of just one.
yeah, yeah. Those are really, really nice.
Yeah, with maybe a luxury.
Yeah. But let's see. Yeah. So this info and ads, and I don't know if this is on. Let's go really quick to. Maybe if we just go to Berkshire Hathaway, I can see if I can see their ads. Well, actually, let's go. DJ and Tony are sitting right there.
So when you said boost, I thought that's what you were talking about.
No. A boosted post is if I post something on my Facebook wall and I want to go out farther. Yeah, so it's separate. Okay, so actually they can do that. So if they go to your page,
Okay.
and they scroll the way down here and they go to info and ads, it does look like they can see all their ads.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like Tony and DJ are running this one right now, so I can see it. So yeah, so you could go send them to that link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, what else, you guys? Any other questions?
If you don't want to do ads, this is a little bit different through your class, but
Sure.
I've always wondered, okay, I have my page. How do I go out and invite people?
So if I'm on my main page and I scroll down here, I invite them here. They have to be your friend.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you could share your page, but again, it's just going to go out to your friends. It's not going to go out to anyone farther than that.
That's okay. though.
Yeah. So you would just invite them.
Because
here.
I don't, yeah.
Mhm.
I'd rather share and then if they want to click
So
on
you
it
could
or
also
something.
click the share button. And when I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm sharing on my timeline, my page. So I would say like my page below for my real estate updates. And so it's going to come on my personal Facebook, but it'll share my business page.
Can you do the same thing as on a personal, go look for somebody on a business page?
Sorry, what?
Well, like on a personal, like if
Yeah.
you're looking for an old school friend or
Mhm.
something, you can search.
Yeah.
And if you find him, friend him.
Yep.
Can you do that through here too?
Yep. So what you do is like, let's say that I'm looking for Diane. I gotta click Diane Reinhardt. And if I go to pages,
Where did you click that?
just in
Oh,
search.
just up in the same.
Yep. So if I go by
Okay.
pages, it's going to show up easier there. If you go by all, it will still show up under pages. But it just might, it depends on how many there are of a similar name, all that kind of stuff.
Because I have clients and prospects that I don't really want on my personal page, but I do my professional.
Yeah.
So I can just invite them.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Any other
Thank
questions,
you.
you guys?
This is great.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you again.
This
No
is
problem.
really great.
No class next week. And I believe the class after that is Moxie. Oh, actually there is class next week. It's Jake's. Jake is teaching his
The
converting
Oh, that's
digits to
right.
dollars class here. So it's not a marketing class,
That's
which is why I
right.
wasn't thinking about it. But he will be teaching here. And I think he's teaching in this room. So if you want to come, I would maybe sit
Really?
back here during sales meeting. Because otherwise I think hopefully they'll end up just teaching it here, but I don't know for sure. Depends on how many people will come. But
There was a lot of people last week.
was
It
there?
was like the whole room.
I'm not
was full.
surprised.
So do you have a second to show me?
Yes.
I was listening to those videos of that Katie, whatever,
Lance,
and she said, oh, here's how you link yours. So I went in and I linked to my professional Instagram.
Mhm.
I don't know how to switch back and forth.
On Instagram or on?
Well, so I no longer can get to my personal Instagram, and that's where
Oh, okay.
everybody
So-
is. And so I'm like,
Are you on your phone?
Thanks, Beth.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
so this is my professional page, but I
So you
want,
go here.
yeah.
And we haven't looked at it together, but-
I tried and I can't find my personal page.
So now
Oh.
log in with your personal account and then they'll be linked together. They should be.
Okay, and I can't remember. I guess it was just my name. That's a problem. It's been months since I've
It's,
seen
yeah, it should be probably your personal email address or maybe just,
Oh,
yeah, or whatever your username was.
well, I felt really stupid because it was like.
Oh, it
okay.
happens.
Well, and everybody's on that one and that's, I can't
Sure.
get back to it, so
Sure.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so if you can log in that way, and then they should be linked, and all you'll do is you'll go to, so if you're on an Instagram page and you click down here to your,
Toggle. Well, that's what I thought.
then
I
you
should
can
be able
toggle
to-
this way.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I could never find it. so,
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
Oh, and I don't know what my Instagram